I am. You think I'm terrible?
No, I don't think you're terrible. We always agree to disagree on things at times,
Right.
but I don't agree with killing a CEO of an insurance company. I don't think he was justified in doing that. The guy has a job, he does his job. They all do it. Unfortunately, it sucks. The rules of any insurance company suck, and people get screwed left and right, not just at United, all of them.
I love Luigi.
Okay, you could love Luigi, but Luigi needs to go to jail because
No,
Luigi murdered a man.
no, you're wrong.
Okay. He murdered a man. He ruined a family. He took a father away from two children.
You're out of network.
Was it two? Was it two kids? I don't remember. I forgot how many
I
kids
feel
he had.
only for the children. I feel only for the children. I don't feel for the wife. She married a garbage bag. I'm sorry.
Well, wait. You can't say she married a garbage bag. How do you know he was even in that line of work when they met?
I love Luigi.
You can love Luigi, but Luigi needs to go to jail for murdering somebody.
Oh my God. He murders with a stroke of a pen. He murders 70,000.
And unfortunately, he is not the only one in an insurance company that does so. You know what I mean?
But they make
He's
money.
not the only one. You're condoning an act of one man that there's a lot of other people that are going to say this is the way to deal with it when they get pissed off at an insurance company. Let's go shoot them.
He was in excruciating pain, the poor guy, you know? You don't have any sympathy for him and his plight?
There's a lot of people in excruciating pain. Okay. He is not the only one that gets screwed over by an insurance company. There are millions of people that get screwed over by insurance companies.
Right.
I mean, they screw people left and right. Am I going to grab a gun and go shoot somebody at Florida Blue? No.
No, but I mean, it has started a conversation, and there was no other way for this conversation to be had where they would listen. I mean, they're just too
Well,
powerful.
I think there were other ways to go about having a conversation rather than killing somebody.
Luigi is my child. I birthed him.
Hello, is anybody home? Hi, how are you? You're listening to The Lesbian Mafia. I am your host, Sandi, and I don't know what's happening. I feel like everything and everyone is crazy. Everywhere is crazy. I don't know what's happening. Nobody tells me. I'm thinking about I think I'm thinking about the fact that I gained 3 pounds. Yeah. So I'm not happy about that. I can't say that I am. That's very disappointing because I've been on such a good run. This is a problem. I went to acupuncture the other day, and my acupuncturist she's a very lovely woman. She looks 20 years younger than she is. Like literally, she said, because she does the acupuncture on her face. So that's the way she sold it to me, because I was thinking, Jesus Christ, when I'm fucking 60, I want to look like this bitch. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, so I had a good session. So her next patient didn't come in. So she was like, do you want to stay for an extra, through that time, because her other patient didn't come in and someone wasn't coming in until, the next patient. So that was a nice treat. I got like 2 sessions in one day. And then she's like a little bit of a witch doctor. She made me this tonic. She goes like a homeopathic, whatever she does. She goes into her room like Frankenstein or Dr. Frankenstein, and she mixes up stuff. And she gave me something to like heal my chi or something. I don't know what she's talking about. But I took a drop and I don't know. I felt like something was happening. I don't know if anything was really happening. And then the next day, which was today, I still felt some lingering effects. I don't know exactly what feels better, but something feels better. I don't know. Maybe it's my chi. So I don't know. Everything is weird. My friend Sean just sent me something that you could buy a house in Italy for a penny or $1 for €1. But then, it's always like some like Uber fixer-upper, and only God knows what that plumbing looks like. Do you know what I mean? And how am I going to get my car to Italy? I'd have to sell my car. I can't, whatever. He moved to Portugal and he loves it and has been singing Europe's praises for a very long time. However, I don't know. I think women are stupid idiots. I can't even stand women. They're so ugly. And I feel like I'm only a lesbian because I'm autistic. I don't think I'm not autistic. I'm an ADHD. That's different. But whatever, you're still a retard. And I know people hate the retard, but me and Ryan, my friend who is autistic down the hall, my little friend, he's 25 years, I don't know, we call each other retards all the time. And everybody gets so upset you say retard. And everybody acts like, oh, what you said. Meanwhile, me and him, we're both half concocted and we call each other retards. I saw a post on TikTok about Wendy Williams, and I guess I was just reminiscing and thinking about her because I remember her show used to be on WBLS in New York in the afternoons. She would come on 2 to 6. Wendy was amazing. Wendy Williams. She was, honestly, I don't think there was anybody, well, maybe Howard in his day. And she used to, give Howard a lot of deference, because he is what he is. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't like him because of how disgusting. I mean, it was really fucking repulsive what he used to do. But, he's changed now and he was really, truly the king, and she was really the queen. Like, we don't have that anymore. We don't have these kind of radio people. You know what I mean? So I guess maybe those days are over because of all the podcasts. And she would do 4 hours every day live. But she didn't just do 4 hours. Like, she showed up for her job and did 4 hours live, which was impressive enough. Even if you suck, that kind of commitment every day, 4 hours, holy shit. So me and all of my girlfriends, we would all listen to her every day. I'd have it on the radio very low at my desk. And I would listen to her all afternoon. I was peeled to my desk. And she was so fucking funny. Like, it was unbelievable. Like, you cannot believe how funny she was. Like, you just can't believe it. And then to do this every single day, like, she wasn't, it wasn't some kind of put on. You know what I mean? Like, she was there and she was just a really fucking wacky, funny person, I mean, she did have a lot of experience, whatever, but I remember being in the car. If I would park, you pull in the driveway or whatever, and then, you're getting out of the car. But if I would wait for the commercial to come on, to get out of the car, to go in the house, to run in the house and turn on the station so that I would catch her when the commercial was over. Because I didn't want to miss a minute. Because you never knew. Like, if you missed 5 minutes, you don't know what you're going to miss, Oh my God, she was so funny. And I think whatever is happening in her life, it really hurts my heart. I think anybody who does radio, would have to acknowledge her space. But, you don't really hear people talking about her. You hear people talking about Howard all the time. But he's on still, I know. But my God, she was so fucking funny. Jesus Christ. And I know that at some point she got a little bit ahead of herself. And she maybe said a few things that maybe she shouldn't have. That maybe I wish she never said. Woody Allen has sex with his daughter, but Wendy says something, a little bit off color, and they act like she's, the devil himself, But dementia's a really fucked up animal. And I think the minute you sense something could be happening, get all your shit down in fucking writing, because what's gone on with her life it's so horrible. But my God, was she fucking funny. In 4 hours, how much funny can you produce? It's a lot. I'm sure maybe she had some stuff written, whatever, but like on a daily basis like that, that's just natural. It's just whatever. You're shooting from the hip, But I wish for mercy on her life, as she goes forward. Life is so strange, man. What else is happening? The lesbian world doesn't exist, so I don't know. I'm not looking for a man, so that's why I don't use lesbian apps, dating apps. I remember we used to have like entire restaurants that we would go to. Well, some of them were, all week long, but then other ones it would be like, oh, this night, and it wouldn't just be, it would be a restaurant, bar, and entertainment kind of thing. And then it would be like, whatever.
I think we're recording. So all the lesbian DEI hires in the fire department in LA, what's your thoughts?
It's all their fault.
Have you been hearing about that? How the right wing?
I've been hearing about that too, but
why did it have to be that, it's the fire department with a bunch of lesbos? But, is it really their fault? I guess.
no, you can't put the blame on a single individual. I would have to put the blame more towards the infrastructure. We're susceptible to fires. This isn't the first time. Like the whole state itself, it's dry. That having no water pressure for the fire hydrants, those are the types of things that shouldn't have been an issue. At the same token, like there was no way to control the fires when they were blowing at 90-mile-per-hour winds, like matchsticks, just boom, 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 one house to the next, just catching fire. You know how difficult it is to be a firefighter? Do you know how many people I personally know that have tried for years to be a firefighter, and they make the standards so high, obviously, because, you're frontline. But I feel like that would be somewhere that the funding should go. There should be large-scale fire departments. None of the fire departments even have generators. People were taking their own personal generators to the fire departments so that they had power so that they could go back and shower and go back onto the front lines. You know what I mean? It's a lack of structure, and I can't put the blame on Newsom or Mayor Bass. You can't. But at the same time, the funding and the budget, like where's the budget going? Like, let me not even touch on the streets and the potholes. Okay. I got 2 flat tires. Did I ever tell you the story about I got 2 flat tires?
Tell me.
Yes.
At the same time. Oh my God.
Okay, so I just bought a brand new car. I had it for maybe about 6 weeks. I picked up all my friends. We were going to go to this Halloween festival. We're in my car. We're driving on the freeway. I'm just driving normal, and I'm behind the truck and so on and so forth. And then I see this pothole, and it's too late for me to go to the right or the left because it's a Saturday afternoon and there's traffic everywhere. It's LA. To go 18 miles, it'll take about 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Anyhow, as I'm driving, I see this huge square pothole, and my car, I couldn't go to the right or left, so I just go over it, and then bam, bam, both my tires flat immediately.
Oh my God.
Brand new car. I had to get off the freeway, and it wasn't just me. There was a line of people that had flat tires.
Same thing happened with the new lease.
A new lease. Yeah, I buy them every 3 years. I get a new one. Right. And I don't know if you know, but BMWs all have low-profile tires.
I don't even know what that is.
So it's a thinner profile tire. It looks nice, performance is better, and they're run flats. So if you get a flat, you're technically supposed to be able to drive below 50 miles an hour, but it's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. So I press a button in my car. It's BMW roadside assistance. I'm like, hey, I need to have my car towed to the tire shop down the street from my house. And they're like, oh, no, we can only tow it to a BMW dealership. So they want me to spend $3,000 on a new set of tires through BMW versus the tire shop down the street where I'm probably going to spend about $1,000.
Oh, my God.
Anyhow, so the bright side of things is this. So I immediately contact Caltrans, which is the department that's in charge of all the highways and the streets and the freeways.
Right.
And there's a form I submit to get reimbursed. So,
oh, wow. That's amazing.
It's a reimbursement, literally for potholes.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. But they have to investigate. There's cameras everywhere, so they check their cameras and they'll see that, obviously this happened. And so they have to do an investigation, but it takes 8 months to get reimbursed for the $900 that I spent to get my 2 tires and a new alignment on my brand new car.
Yeah, well, that's, shitty roads. Why not just fix the roads?
No, they do. It takes these complaints and people letting them know, like, hey, the street's fucked up. And then I think about 2 weeks later, I was in the area again, and the pothole had been filled.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
How are the roads by you normally?
They're shitty.
They are. That's crazy.
Yeah, the
In
roads are,
LA, right? Where it's a driving city. When I lived in the city, it was a little bit like, okay, this isn't like a driver dependent city, right? Like New York
right.
City. Now I'm in Westchester and it's everything is driving. I'm so sick of driving. Anyway, every single thing is driving. And
hmm
how do you not keep the roads, the amount of taxes these people pay? How do you not fix the fucking roads when this is the primary way that people get around is by driving? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like you grew up thinking, oh, people who have money, everything that. No, not really. You get shit on too.
No, yeah, no.
Yeah.
The taxes, don't get me started, because as you know, I own two businesses,
Right.
but you're technically not your own boss because the state owns you. You have to pay your taxes. And the
Right.
taxes now for the industry that I'm in
Mm-hmm.
is 21.5%.
On two businesses. That's
No,
incredible.
one business is 21.5%. The other business depends on the city and you pay the taxes accordingly. But yeah, 21.5%. The other business is like usually averaging around 11%. Where's all this money going? You know where it's
Right.
going? I'll tell you where it's going. I'd rather be homeless in California. I know for sure. I can get a free phone. I can get free housing. I can get free food. I can get free clothes. Don't fucking get me started. And you know what? The only thing that they're not giving the homeless is the actual drugs and alcohol. That you have to fend for yourself. And you know what? It's not hard to get it on your own. They're handing them money.
Right.
Here's
Instead
free
of
food.
using that money to fix the problem so that you don't have to
Okay, I understand that there's the mentally
yeah.
unstable or there's the veterans that are just fucked, but
Right.
it all comes down to, their mental state. That's what needs to be focused on, not just throwing money at them. That's why everyone keeps caravanning to California. The homeless populations from all over this country caravan to California because they've got it made here. Stay on the streets if you want. Hey, but you know what? You know where you can get a free meal. You know where you can get free shower, free clothes, free food. Or, hey, you know what? We're even going to give you free housing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they
sure.
don't
And it's
want that.
warm. It's warm there, so that's probably why everybody goes there. Because it's much harder to be homeless here in New York. Where the hell are you going to
Oh, yeah.
freezing?
Oh, yeah.
You'll
Did I ever tell
die.
you about the time? I was
Tell
living
me.
in Florida a few years ago,
Mhm.
and I remember I used to work at this place, and there was this homeless guy, super friendly, would talk to everyone. And I remember I was standing up, I was going to my car, and I just said, "Hey, how's it going?" to the guy, and it turns out he's from Michigan. I go, "How did you end up in Florida?" He goes, "Oh, they brought me here." I'm like, "Who brought you here?" He goes, "The state offered to transport me to Florida." And I go, "And then what?" He goes, "They drop you at the train station or at the bus stop
Oh
and
my
you
God,
fend for yourself."
Ellie.
Because the weather is better in Florida
Right.
instead of dying on the street of, from,
Right.
they'll
Hypothetically.
caravan your ass. Yeah.
Right. So the state transferred him and just let him out on the street?
Yeah. Yeah, to Florida at the time. And you know what I think? And then they got the Olympics coming.
Mhm.
They've got the World Cup coming. And that's the big thing for our mayor is making this shitty-ass city fucking shiny and bright. You're going to put lipstick on a pig is what they're going to try to do to this city.
Right. So
You know?
I guess the homeless is a real threat to you. Is that why it makes you so angry? Is it like it's a real threat? Like I know that there's like Skid Row and all of that, but beyond that, I don't know anything else about it.
They're everywhere.
Hmm.
In the city of, okay, so there's LA County and then there's LA City. Inside LA County, there's tons of different jurisdictions, like city of Pasadena, let's say. That's a relevant conversation everyone has been hearing about. So Pasadena is its own jurisdiction. You don't see barely any homeless because they clean them out. But the city of LA, they just let them all over the streets of the city of LA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's no control. Where's
Right.
our money going? Where's all this tax money going?
Right.
It's not like the whole state is occupied and we're overpopulated. Yeah. Southern California is overpopulated. Yes. The rest of the state is fine. Where's all this money going?
Yeah, I guess LA's in trouble.
And the trauma.
Right.
It's like COVID trauma, like when we had to have curfews and you couldn't leave your house and then everything just literally came to a standstill. That's what it's like out here right now.
Right. It's trauma after trauma for the whole state. That's horrible. And then, so you
Yeah.
said that you're waiting to find out today if you're going to be evacuated?
There's another high wind warning today.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, right now everything's calm. I mean, the fires are still burning in the Palisades. They're still burning in the Eaton fire, but they're away from structures. They're getting them contained. And when I found out that containment of a fire doesn't necessarily mean that they're containing. It's the perimeter of the fire has to be contained. So when they say it's like 19% contained, only 19% of the perimeter of the fire is contained. So they want to get 100% containment to kind of put it into one big circle, and then eventually they're able to put it out. But I mean, it's large scale, it's rough terrain. Anyhow, yeah, so there's high wind warnings today into tomorrow. I'm just, hoping that it doesn't cause any new fires. And I mean, the thing is how are these fires starting? Is what everybody's asking. If you were to rub two sticks together, you're eventually going to cause a fire. And if you've got 90-mile-per-hour winds and you've got trees and brush just slapping against each other, I mean, you could technically start a fire that way. But the worst thing is these arsonists that truly just get off on this shit. The moment I hear about high wind warnings, the next thought that I have is arsonists. And that is not a comfortable feeling, that I have to deal with the fact that when there's high winds, I'm in fear that there's going to be an arsonist going and causing a fire that could possibly spread and destroy my house.
Right. Oh, this probably could have happened many times before if it wasn't contained properly, right? Where was the point where it wasn't contained that it was like, oh shit, this is going off now. Like, we have no control over this,
Yeah, no, I know. That was the first 3 days. There was zero containment. And just to have zero containment, and then it kept spreading, and then it went over the ridge into the valley, and it was like literally right in people's backyards, and they were able to stop it. And then the winds kind of went in another direction, which really helped the fire away from homes, but just a very uncomfortable feeling, and it's tragic.
Yeah.
I know so many people that are directly affected by these fires.
Yeah.
I have a family member who lost their house. You don't think that this is going to happen to you. And then it's just,
Right.
even not, let's say I didn't know a single person that was affected by these fires. It's still my city. And it still hurts to see this, and just so many people displaced, and just, they lost everything in a matter of minutes, seconds. They lost everything.
Which family member?
My cousin lost his house, and he's fairly young, he's probably in his mid-30s, bought his own house maybe about 2-3 years ago.
Wow.
In the community that he's always kind of lived in the Altadena fires, the Eaton fires, I guess that's what it's called.
Right.
And I found out before he did that his house was gone. I found out from my cousin. It's my cousin's son. So he's technically my second cousin. But she was on the phone with my mom and bawling and saying, he lost his house, and that she's got to go tell him, and, I just started crying. I just felt terrible. And yeah.
This is really pretty fucking devastating.
And it's only getting worse. You've got these people that have been on evacuation warnings till further notice. I think the neighborhoods in like Brentwood, Pacific Palisades, like they were allowing people to go in, grab their like medications, go kind of assess the damage. I believe on Saturday they were given that opportunity, but it's just not safe. There's down power lines. There's still fires burning, due to the gas not being, the gas lines in the homes. It's not safe. At the National Guard lined up at the base of all these streets and just not letting people in. And
wow. Yeah, like you don't think about fires like this in modern times, right? Like this sounds like stuff that you read about, when you're a kid, like in the children's Bible, where they'll show like 2 pages of all fire. Like this is so not of this time, it feels. Like why is something like this happening in this time? How could something like this happen in this time that we're living in? It's just hard to grasp.
Yeah.
How do you get evacuation notice?
We get them sent to our phones. All of a sudden, it's like this big radar sound going off, evacuation warning. I got a few. I didn't get mandatory evacuations because of where I'm located. But yeah, you get a notification on your phone, and then it just starts blowing up. Everyone's texting and calling, and I'm on the Watch app, so I constantly monitor that.
Right.
But as of now, everything's been pretty calm, but hopefully these winds that are supposed to pick up today just don't cause any further damage.
What if you're a 72-year-old woman living on your own? How would you
Yeah.
get an evacuation notice?
Exactly. When it gets really bad, they're going door to door, like banging on the doors to get out.
I see.
The more that they're able to finally go up and assess the damage to the homes, that's when you're going to start seeing the death toll number rise, because so many people did not leave or did not know. You know,
God.
there was just, it was so large scale that they couldn't get to everyone. Neighbors were doing it, neighbors going door to door, like everyone was like, get out, get out. But
Oh my God.
yeah, it's really sad. I was watching this guy go up and just standing there in the ruins of his house. And, you know, they're interviewing him, and then he goes, I haven't heard from my sister, and she only lives a few blocks away. He goes, I went to her street, and her car was still there, and they found her remains. Yeah.
Wow. So, how do you prepare for evacuation? What do you do?
I grab my dog, I throw all my crap in a bag that I need, and I leave. All the rest of this stuff is just stuff. I don't
Yeah.
want to have to lose anything, but
Right.
you know, I just got to get up and go.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Right. Do you know any organizations, like who's involved in the relief efforts?
I know that the Red Cross is involved, FEMA,
No.
you know, whatever resources there are. And then on top of everything, the worst part is there's so much fraud going on.
Right.
And there's
Right.
fake websites that just popped up. There's price gouging of apartments and hotels.
Right.
They're trying to control the gouging, the price gouging,
Mhm.
which took place during COVID too.
Mhm.
But
Are you in fear of looting and stuff? Not the corporate looting that's coming, but looting in the streets. Are you concerned about that?
oh, it could get to that point. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised when I heard about the looting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm surprised they haven't talked about people looting. And then within the next like hour or so, they discussed the
Right.
looting issue. But yeah, no, of course I'm fearful of the looting. You know, anything can happen and people take advantage regardless. You're taking advantage of people during the most volatile time, and
Right.
it's just not fair. It's
Right.
not okay.
This is when you really see the ugliness that is possible of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about that story about, I think she's like a woman in her 70s in France, her husband, he would drug her, and he drugged her like, I don't know, like 50 or 60, 70 times. And he had men come and have sex with her while she was knocked out. I think he was a dentist, so he drugged her. And then he would have guys come and have sex with her while she was knocked out.
No, I didn't hear about what the fuck?
Yeah, I'll send you the link later, but you know,
Oh my God.
yeah, I mean, it's a huge story in France. You know, people have been paying attention to it here, but not nearly enough, because that's a fucking incredible story. But
Yeah.
I mean, staggering. But what I was thinking is like, you know, you live somewhere and then it's like, oh, what if that was you or me? You know what I mean? Like, and your husband.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at people and I'm like, how many of these very normal, nice people would take part in something like that? Like people that you see every day, regular
People
guys.
that you see, exactly.
Like if things got really nasty, really gross, really fast, who would partake in the lowest forms of like degrading shit? You know, who among us would be very different if there weren't any rules?
A
Yeah.
lot of people, and that's the
Right.
scary thing. It's just, fuck, dude, humans are sick.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm perfect, but like, fuck, dude, people don't have any moral lines anymore that they know, you know
Right.
you're not supposed to cross that line. And
Right. You're really not supposed to cross that line. You know?
yeah, something popped up on my feed yesterday, and I was just like, I'm not even going to read this fucking article. But it was about some guy in Florida that got arrested for having sex with a horse. Like, come on, man. But like, I know that there's a whole fetish for that. Like, people do that. I can't. There's like documentaries about that shit.
And there's also a lot of porn with that kind of stuff too.
Oh God.
Bestiality porn.
Oh God.
I love you very much. I hope that you are kept safe, you and your family, and you'll have to update me and let me know how it's going.
I will. I love you too.
Okay, so let me just start just by quickly correcting something here. As I mentioned Giselle, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, Pellicote or Yeah, I think that Giselle Pellicot, she was the French woman who her now ex-husband, was convicted of drugging her and facilitating like multiple, I don't know if it was 50, some people say 70, or it could have been like 50 men and 70 different times, but that he kind of like organized these like scenarios where he would drug her and then he would have them come to the house and rape her. And I think that happened over a period of a decade. And so I think like 50 of the men, they all got some kind of sentence, something like, smaller sentences, and some got more severe sentences. It's a really highly publicized case that happened in France and all of that. But when I was talking to my friend about it, I said that he had men come over and have sex with her. And dear God, I can already hear the feminist listeners sharpening their blades. I mean, I would be horrified to hear that too if I was on the listening end. But, I can hear the feminist listeners sharpening the guillotines for me. So just let me be clear. I completely missed the mark there. And yes, I am fully aware that he had them come and rape his wife. There's no sugarcoating that, and I apologize for not saying that correctly the first time, because I was horrified. When I went back to edit it and clean it up, I was like, oh, did you just say that he had them come over and have sex with her? And I was like, oh no, you're going to repeat it again. You're going to say it the right way the second time, of course. So I wasn't even worried. And then the second time I said it again, and then I was horrified. So I just wanted to correct that. And just, I just want to acknowledge the seriousness of that. But so thanks so much for tuning in. And if you have any questions, you can email, or any thoughts or anything, you can reach out at info@thelesbianmafia.com. And don't forget to follow. I'm on Blue Sky. And I should tell you, Blue Sky is interesting because you can build on there, because they have people make starter packs where you can just follow whoever they follow. And then like you suddenly are following all these people, and then they can decide if they want to follow you back. The only thing is you have no idea who you're following sometimes, but that's okay. That's fine. So you can get me at The Lesbian Mafia on Blue Sky. What else? All right, I'll be back. I'll try not to slack. I know this was a little late posting on this, but all right. Well, again, thanks for being here, and ciao for now, brown cow.